Eddie's early years were filled with sunshine and laughter. He had a loving family. His mom and dad doted on him. They played games in the park. They read him bedtime stories. Life was simple, full of joy. Then everything changed. His parents became distant. Their laughter faded. Arguments filled the air, leaving Eddie confused and frightened. He felt invisible, lost in the shadows of their growing anger. One cold evening, his parents sat him down. Their faces were grim. They told him he was going to live with his Aunt Claire. They promised it was for the best, but their words felt empty. Eddie's small world crumbled around him. He didn't understand why his parents didn't want him anymore. He didn't understand why they stopped loving him. All he knew was a deep, aching sadness that settled in his heart. Aunt Claire lived in a small, cozy house by the sea. She welcomed Eddie with open arms. Her smile was warm, her eyes kind. For a little while, Eddie felt safe again. She baked him cookies, told him stories of pirates and mermaids. They walked along the beach collecting seashells and watching the waves crash against the shore. Aunt Claire filled the void left by his parents, her love a soothing balm on his wounded heart. Eddie began to heal. He laughed again, played again. The nightmares of his parents' arguments faded. The warmth of Aunt Claire's love chased away the shadows. He started to believe that maybe, just maybe, he could be happy again. He clung to Aunt Claire, her love a lifeline in a stormy sea. As Eddie grew older, things started to change. Aunt Claire wasn't as patient as she used to be. Her smiles were fewer, her hugs less frequent. The warmth in her eyes seemed to dim, replaced by a flicker of something else, something cold and distant. She complained about Eddie constantly. He was too loud, too messy, too much like his father. Her words were sharp, like shards of glass, piercing Eddie's fragile heart. The happy memories of baking cookies and building sandcastles felt like a distant dream. Eddie tried to be good, tried to please her. He cleaned his room without being asked. He ate his vegetables without complaint. But nothing he did seemed to make a difference. Aunt Claire's love, once a warm embrace, had turned into a heavy weight, suffocating him. Life with Aunt Claire became a constant source of anxiety. Eddie tiptoed around her, terrified of saying or doing the wrong thing. He learned to read her moods, to gauge the storms brewing behind her eyes. He felt like a burden, unwanted and unloved. Her words echoed in his mind. "You'll never amount to anything. You're just like your father. Nobody will ever love you." These poisonous whispers chipped away at his self-worth, leaving him feeling small and insignificant. Eddie retreated into himself. He found solace in books, escaping into worlds where love triumphed and heroes prevailed. He dreamed of a life beyond Aunt Claire's suffocating grip, a life where he could be free to be himself, to laugh without fear, to be loved without condition. Despite the constant criticism and emotional abuse, a spark of resilience flickered within Eddie. He refused to let Aunt Claire extinguish his spirit entirely. He clung to the memory of his parents' love, however fleeting it may have been, and he drew strength from the kindness of strangers, a friendly shopkeeper, a compassionate teacher. He discovered a passion for art. With a few stolen moments and a set of old crayons, he transformed scraps of paper into vibrant expressions of his inner world. His drawings became his refuge, a way to process his pain, to give voice to the emotions he couldn't express in words. Through his art, Eddie discovered an inner strength he didn't know he possessed. He learned that even in the darkest of times, beauty could bloom. He learned that even a broken heart could still hold hope. The inevitable explosion came on Eddie's 13th birthday. A trivial argument about a forgotten chore escalated into a raging torrent of accusations and blame. Aunt Claire's voice dripped with venom, her words cutting deep. "Get out!" she screamed, her face contorted with rage. "I can't stand the sight of you anymore. You're just like your parents, a burden, a mistake." Eddie stood frozen, his heart pounding in his chest. He felt numb, the weight of her words crushing him. He grabbed his meager belongings, a few clothes, his precious art supplies, and walked out of Aunt Claire's house and into the unknown. As he walked away, he didn't look back. He had no tears left to cry, no anger left to feel. He was empty, hollowed out by years of emotional neglect, but amidst the wreckage, a single thought flickered like a beacon. He was free. Eddie's journey was far from over. He faced countless challenges, navigating the complexities of the foster care system, struggling to overcome the scars of his past. but he never gave up. He carried the lessons he had learned, the resilience he had forged, the hope he had nurtured deep within his heart. He knew that his past did not define him. He was not his parents' abandonment, nor was he Aunt Claire's bitterness. He was Eddie, a survivor, an artist, a young man determined to create his own happiness, to build a future filled with love, laughter, and the freedom to finally be himself. Eddie's story is a testament to the indomitable spirit that resides within us all. It is a reminder that even in the face of adversity, even when hope seems lost, the human heart has an extraordinary capacity to heal, to grow, and to love again.